Guys, it's just so nice praying in tongues and you're full of the Holy Spirit. When you're just there, Maya Nalabosa. Even if you're singing in tongues, there's a point now we can even start singing in tongues. You're joining the choir of heaven. Wow. Okay, guys, let me tell you how I received my gift of tongues. Okay, so what is tongues? I'll make like a teaching on tongues. Firstly, tongues is when the Holy Spirit is using your voice to pray for you. So the second question, any born again believer can receive the gift of tongues. There's a lot of confusion on the gift of tongues, and there are 3 different types of tongues. And then the third one, wait, how did I receive my gift of tongues? Okay, so this was probably like 6 months after I was saved. So I got saved in September 2023. So this was in March. I'm sure it was March 2024. Yes, on the 18th of March, that's when I received my gift of tongues. 2024. I was even at school there. So that day they didn't have homework period. So after like the period before second break, when the period ends, we can go home. Okay, sharp. So for me, I considered that second break because I was gonna stay till late. Okay, sharp. So then what happened is that I was with my friends in second break. Okay, sharp. We're just there chilling. As we're there chilling, the Holy Spirit says to me, "Go to a quiet place and worship." Guys, I had always desired the gift of tongues, but I never received it. I had fasted, I had prayed, I had done all these things, but I never received it. So there was a point where I had just given up. Like, God, it is what it is. If you don't want to give me the gift of tongues, that's fine, Lord. But then God ended up giving me the gift of tongues. So then I'm sure God, the reason why I didn't want to give me at that time is because I was going to be immature with it. Even when I was preaching, I'm sure I was going to preach in tongues, and I'm not actually supposed to do that. So when the gift of tongues, it's your own personal prayer language. Then there's a type of tongues that it's a prophetic tongues. It's not for everyone. This one is like, it's a specific gift for public. This one is not for everyone. When someone stands up in the church, speaks in tongues loud, and then they sit down. Then someone with the gift of interpretation, which is also not for everyone, stands up and then interprets what the person said in tongues. So this one, I'm sure it's when God is directly speaking to the church, or the Holy Spirit has a message for the church. This one, I don't have that. So it's not for everyone, this one. And then the second type of tongues is the one that the apostles had. So on the day of Pentecost, when they got filled with the Holy Spirit, what happened is that they started speaking in new languages. So these are languages on earth. So let's say, for example, the Holy Spirit wants to make a miracle, and then let's say you go to China and you're just there worshiping God, and then let's say most of the people here understand English, but then there are a few people that can't speak English. Like, let's say they speak only Mandarin. So then as you're just there preaching, then the Holy Spirit, you just start speaking Mandarin, and you don't know, you've never learned it before. So yes, those are the different types of tongues. So then what happens is that the Holy Spirit said to me, go to a quiet place and worship. I'm at school, okay, I went to these other like rooms where you can worship. Like, they're not called worship rooms. Guys, I didn't know that it's but like, like those quiet rooms. Okay, I went there. I didn't know that we're supposed to not use them. I didn't know at that time. Now people told us, so if you're not pray, you can go in there. Okay, so I went in the room. I put on worship song. There's this other song by Tasha Cobbs that goes like, you provide the fire, and then it goes like, I provide the sacrifice. So that song is biblical, meaning that people in the Old Testament, they would provide a sacrifice to God, and He would provide the fire. Wait, no, the fire, that's the story of Elijah, where he gave an offering to God, and then fire came down from heaven, because there were other gods, or this other idol that people in Israel worshipped, and God wanted people to worship Him because He's the one true God. So that's what happened. Okay, so then after I'm listening to that song, fill me up, God. I'm listening to that song, and then I didn't know that I was going to speak in tongues that day. So what happened is that the song was like 9 minutes. Okay, as I'm there worshiping God, I get filled with the Holy Spirit, and I'm just there, wow, just singing the song, singing, and then the words just started coming out. The Holy Spirit started filling me with utterance. I started speaking in tongues, and guys, one thing, and then that's why I got baptized with the Holy Spirit, and I received my gift of tongues at school, and I was even praying in tongues for 1 hour and 30 minutes. Guys, I felt like I couldn't stop, but you can actually stop. Also, when you pray in tongues, you can pray in tongues anytime, because now when you receive that gift, it's a gift that God had given you. So you can pray in tongues anywhere, anytime. It's a language that you know now. And then another thing about the gift of tongues is that okay, let me think. Oh yeah, another thing is that, guys, your tongues, they will never be the same. That's one thing that the Holy Spirit told me, is that your tongues will, oh yeah, there's this one time when my tongues was Swahili. I'll say that after school, or probably at school. So then what happens is that your tongues will never be the same. The sounds, they'll never be the same. So let's say one season in tongue, your tongue sounds like this. The next season, your tongues change. So that's how your tongues will always change. There's sometimes when your tongues, when you pray in tongues, you're gonna see you're saying one word over and over and over and over and over. You're wondering what that word is, but in in the spiritual realm, now what the Holy Spirit revealed is that in the spiritual realm, those tongues are not the same. So in the physical, you're hearing the same sound over and over, but then in the spiritual realm, the first word is not the same as the second one. The second one is not the same as the third one. So that's it on the gift of tongues, guys. So yeah, that's how I received it.